Well, that was rather delicious too, I think. Or maybe I'm just getting punch drunk. Everything sounds great now. Okay, I've just had confirmation that my final call should be coming in any minute now, so I shall have a look at the papers. I won't put on another track. If it's that imminent, I don't want to have to cut the track short. In the eye, millions of homes could be washed out as flash floods become the norm. Right, okay, this is an interesting one. This is politics. Yeah. Yes, well, let's think, you know what I think about politics. Boris Cameron, the fact that I think politicians cannot be trusted to tell anything like the truth. And Kyle's got a phone in his hand. Right, okay. And he's just about to patch me through. Pressing buttons and... Hi.
Hello, Donald.
Hi, Al Perry. It's lovely to hear from you.
It's lovely to speak to you. How do you feel?
I'm fine.
24 hours.
Yeah, well, 23 and 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll manage, but I think I'll need to have a rest when I get there. And thanks so much for the little package which arrived yesterday.
Oh, wonderful. That got there very quickly.
It arrived after I left for the studio, but my wife came over later on and she brought it. And it's nice to see these photographs.
It's a very nice photo of you.
Yeah. And of you too. And it was a lovely day, and I love the way these things are all kind of coming together. The fact that I had the privilege of hearing that song the day after you'd recorded it.
You did. I think I played it to the person that inspired me to write it first that evening when I returned from. You were the first person, other than that, to ever hear it, I think.
And it was such a joy, not only meeting you and sitting having a chat in the lovely sunshine outside Victoria, but to hear that marvellous song there.
Thank you.
And then to be able to make use of it this time later, over a year later, I think,
I think you did a really good
for that video.
I was very impressed with your little video, and it's very informative, actually, like learning about your radio station.
Yeah, it's just, it's not as if I didn't have enough things to do in the lead up to this 24-hour show. I just had this idea on Thursday.
I think that's something you could use, like, time and time again, though.
Yeah, the busier I am, the more I seem to get done. I just thought, I'm going to make it...
People thrive on being busy. I think I'm probably the same.
I'm going to make a wee video, so I turned up in the studio, I walked in the door with the video camera running, and I hadn't a clue what was going on.
Well, you did a really good job, and I think that it's something very useful to sort of, show people how it all started, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the lyrics of your song, although they weren't written for it, I think they seem to be very appropriate.
Yeah,
and
very apt. It fits very well. So I think you did a really good job, and it's an honour that you used my song, so thank you.
Well, I reciprocated, because it wouldn't have been the same without your song. So, can you just help me out here? What are your plans for the weekend?
Well, I've got a busy weekend. I'm doing a little bit on my music. I've got to send a few things out for my music. I've got lots of jobs to do at home, and some running around, and a bit of helping out with family. So it's a busy weekend.
Oh well, I don't think I'll be too. But well, I've got to call a band in Los Angeles about midnight tonight to record an interview with them.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and but I think the thing was that I'll probably have had a bit of sleep before then anyway, so I'll be fresh enough for that. And then, as if I didn't have enough, at 1 o'clock in the morning before I started this, I got up out of bed to do a comms check with a band in South Carolina.
Oh, I've got a friend that lives in South Carolina. Actually, it might be North Carolina.
All right, it was Soul Unique Show Band that I was speaking to. There's a couple of brothers in it. But,
what kind of music is that?
Sort of R&B, soul, sort of. They actually won a jazz music award, but I think I would probably class the music more as sort of soul.
I like a bit of soul.
It was lovely. But they had a look at the video and they thought it was. They were impressed. They thought we were broadcasting out of a mansion, and I pointed out, no, it's just a little attic at the top. But apparently in South Carolina they don't have buildings that are more than 1 story tall. I think.
I must admit, I guess sometimes it does, like when you do film in it, sort of give a sort of different impression.
Well, it
does look bigger than it.
Yeah, it's quite an old, substantial stone-built building. So
anyway, they're always very sort of elegant looking.
Yeah. It's lovely hearing from you. Thanks again for your package. I'm going to play that wonderful song, One of a Kind, when we've finished. Thank you for calling in. It's a real pleasure to have you as my last caller before I finish.
Proud of you.
And me, you. It's mutual appreciation society all around here, but it's great. And maybe one day I'll get back down. I'm sorry I didn't manage to get down for that live gig you did recently.
I'm sure there'll be more. So
yeah,
I
hope so. I hope so. Well, thanks for calling in.
Well, thank you very much.
I'll let you get on with your busy weekend.
Thank you.
And take care.
You too, Donald.
Right.
Take care.
Okay. Right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, this is the song that I was talking about. Elle Perry's One of a Kind, that I used, thanks to her permission, as a soundtrack for a little informative video I made the other day on Generate Radio. And if that's not readily available, I'll make sure it's reposted on the Generate Radio Facebook page very shortly.
From the very first time I saw your page, I knew there was something behind. You left the kindest words, you had the wisest eyes. You really did make me smile. And then I pressed play, and I heard your voice, so deep I melted inside. And then I heard your words, it was a meeting of mine. Now you're simply blowing my mind. There's something about you, something so right. There's something about you, you're one of a kind. There's something about you, a different from life. I've known you now for a little while, and you sure are special to me. Now I get to hear your singing guitar forever and eternally. You got a heart of gold, and you touch my soul like no other friend before. You are the rarest kind, friends a special find. You're simply one of a kind. There's something about you, something so right. There's something about you, you're one of a kind. There's something about you, a different from life. There's something about you, something so right. There's something about you, you're one of a kind. There's something about you, a different for life. There are no reasons, there can be no reasons why I'm letting you out of my life. You got a heart of gold and you touch my soul. You're simply one of a kind. There's something about you, something so right. There's something about you, you're one of a kind. There's something about you, a different from life.
The wonderful track by Elle Perry, who I was just speaking to there. Thank you for giving me the privilege of speaking to you as my last planned caller. I suppose people could still call in, but there's nothing planned. Great to hear from you. And yeah, that was a marvellous day. I met her. That was the day after I met the... Well, I suppose it was the same day that I met the beatboxer on the tube tube train just after midnight, and then later on I went back and met up outside the Shakespeare pub, outside Victoria Station, as I was waiting to get my bus back to Scotland, and I had the great pleasure of meeting and chatting to Elle Perry, and there's an interview, a recording of that interview somewhere on my blog, I think. I'm getting that many of these things piled up now, I'm losing track of what's there. But yeah, what a lovely lady. Life hasn't always been easy for her, but perhaps that's when the most productive things happen, when people are struggling against the odds. But thanks very much, Elle Perry, for everything, including the use of that track for the video that I think is being posted as we speak. Right, okay. In amongst all these people in the IDs that I was playing, it was Nathan Holm gave us a mention, so I realised I hadn't played anything by Nathan. Now, Nathan did this amazing thing live. This track is called Blocks, and he started off, he made some noises and he recorded them on a loop, and he put them through a loop station or whatever it is. I don't know what all these technical things was, and he started playing back the loop of the noise that he'd made, and then he recorded something else and he added that to the loop, and then he did something else, and he kept adding little bits onto this loop, and the loop got bigger and more complex, and towards the end it sounded like there was a whole band playing, and when I looked up, he was standing there and he was kind of scratching his head and he was having to look down and pressing some buttons on the floor, and he wasn't doing anything other than playing back the loop that he had built up and recorded as he went, and just sort of it was wonderful. At least I thought it was. This is Nathan Holm and Blocks.